Hello everyone, sorry for left you waiting because our internet just now is not very stable. Welcome to joining us today. Thank you for your support all the time. I'm your host Victoria, and our live for ZW3D 2020 has been held for 2 days. One for the CAD module, and the next one is the mode module. And today we are going to share you with the CAM module. Okay, now I would like to introduce to you Jack Wang, our CAM expert with more than 7 years experiences working on manufacturing. He also loves to share with our users the latest technologies and new ideas in CAD/CAM industry. Hi, Jack.
Hi, Victoria.
So before your presentation, could you please introduce yourself to us?
Of course. Hello, everyone. I'm Zach Wang from the ZW technical team, and I'm working as a consultant in the CAM group. And I'm focusing on the technical support job in CAM area, and at the same time, I'm also doing investigations to help our development team to build a better roadmap.
Thank you, Jack. During your work experiences, what quality do you think are important for CAM software?
In my opinion, CAM is a way to help us to realize our product, and the CAM software is a tool. So, as a software, as a tool, CAM software must be easy to use, and it must be able to follow in what we are thinking about. Not on the contrary, it must be powerful enough to get us a correct, a good to pass in a faster way, and it must be reliable. It should not break my tool, should not break my machine, should not break my part.
Thank you, Jack. Reliable is really important for our users and easy to use, right? So, as one of the members who decided 3D 2020, I believe you have already applied your ideas into the product. So, my dear users, during our presentation, besides the sharing about the ZIP3D 2020 CAM module, we also have some sections for the lucky draw. Totally, we will have 3 rounds of lucky draw, and we will pick the winners from the active users. Okay, I believe you all can't wait to hear Jack's sharing on the CAM module. So now I hand the platform to Jack Wang. Thank you.
Thank you, Victoria. And hello, everyone. Now, today, let's talk a little bit about CAM. And I'd like to take this opportunity also not only to look at what different tools we have, because there are a lot of them, but also to exchange some thoughts about CAM with you. And since different people use CAM tools to solve different problems, and different problems require different features or different technologies. And likewise, if you have any questions during this live, please type your comment here in the YouTube dialog, and we got team members to answer your questions. Okay, let's get back to the screen. What we have on the screen now, ZW3D 2020 CAM, fast and reliable machining. And this is where we get to start off to get to know ZW3D CAM, and for a better understanding, I'm going to talk about this topic into 3 aspects. They are ease of use, fast machining, and reliable simulation. Those are all the features, what I expected from a CAM software. Okay, let's begin with the first one, ease of use. Okay, as a tool, ZW3D must be as easy as possible to help us to finish the toolpath design. And here I list several points that maybe help you understand how easy it is to work with ZW3D CAM. Okay. First of all, I'd like it is very easy to get in the workpiece in ZW3D CAM'e. If you've been joining us together all along, you will know that ZW3D has a very professional CAD functions. It can easily create your workpiece. But as a CAM engineer, what we always do is not to create the workpiece by ourselves, but to receive a workpiece from our partner or our customers. Maybe they are not working with ZW3D, maybe they are working with CATIA, maybe they are working with Next or SolidWorks. That is not a problem for ZW3D because we got a very powerful data translator to cover the most of the popular file formats in the market. CATIA, Next, Creo, SolidWorks, Solid Edge, Inventor, all the mainstream software can exchange data with ZW3D. So data exchange is never a problem for ZW3D. And because we got two pictures to help easily understand what the parameters mean and what the final shape would be. One picture on the left to illustrate the different meanings of the parameters, and the picture on the right to show the dynamic preview of the two shapes you'll get in the machining procedure. No matter what kind of tools you are dealing with, is it a turning tool, it is a drilling tool, or it is a milling tool, all the tools should get the previews to help you easily create the tool and avoid making mistakes. And ZW3D can provide abundant machining strategies, and all the operations are well defined and well categorized. We got different drilling operations, we got different milling operations from 2 axes to 5 axes. Also, we got different turning operations. And the last 2 points are for the checking functions. In ZW3D, we provide 3 options. Here I just list 2 of them because the last one is a new feature of ZW3D. I'll talk about it later in detail. So the first one, we provide a way to help you to quick check the 2 passes on the screen. Directly bring the 2 shape in and move it along the 2 paths. It is very quick and very easy to use. And we also provide an accurate processing simulation way to help you to see how the materials is removed from the part. It is accurate, it is very reliable. Okay. Next, let's switch to ZW3D and see how these functions or how these points works. Okay, for example, I got a workpiece like this on the screen. It is defined or designed by ZW3D CAD functions. It has several planar faces and a lot of holes. And now I'm going to milling it. Click on the green button will create a CAM plan based on the model. And if you already create a CAM plan, this button will directly switch to it. Also, ZW3D enable users to build their own template. Here, 2 examples, and review it every time you need it. Now we are in the CAM'e environment, and you can see all the ribbons are changed to CAM functions and categorized into different tabs. And let's take a quick look at all of them. The first one, setup. It including functions like import geometry, add stock, create an additional frame, and manage tools and machines. And the following tabs are all our operations, like drilling operation, like 2-axis milling operation, like 3-axis milling operation, 5-axis operation, and turning operations. At the last are several auxiliary tools like 2-pass editor, output settings, visualization settings, and inquire tools. Okay, let's get back and keep going with our CAM plan. Next, I'll create a stock. Click on the button and click again to finish the procedure. Now the stock is on the screen and show as transparent. You can also check the geometry on the CAM'e tree. This is a part and this is a stock. Now I think it's time for us to think about our first roughing operation. In ZW3D, the most popular or common roughing operation is called offset 2D in 3 axes. Click on the ribbon to create the operation and add the stock and part in as the CAM'e features. Then ZW3D will pop up a list of tools for you to select a tool from it. These tools are built together with a template. You can select any of them. But today, I'd like to introduce how to define a new tool in ZW3D, because that's really easy to use. So let's skip the options and navigate a little bit, click Manager to define a new one. You got 2 pictures in the form to define a new tool. One on the left to show the different meanings of the parameters, and one on the right to show the dynamic preview of the tool shape. Any change on the parameters will get a real-time update on the right to help you avoid mistakes, no matter what you are working on. This is a milling tool. You can also work on a drilling tool, or you can get a preview when you are defining a turning tool. Of course, ZW3D enables users to build their own tool library and reuse it. For example, I always create my tool library. I can click Load All to navigate to my library and select the tool. In this case, I pick the 12mm flat. Click OK, and then we can calculate the operations. Give ZW3D several seconds, and it will bring the result on the screen. Okay, now we have seen the 2 passes. Here comes the question. How can I know these 2 passes are not good or not? Are they safe enough? What should I check it? In ZW3D, you have 3 options to check the 2 passes. Right-click on the operation. You can see all the 3 operations. The first one, verify. The second one, solid verify. And the third one, full machine simulation. The verify function is a quick check function to bring the tool shape into the screen and move the tool along the toolpath curves. For users, you can zoom in and rotate a little bit to check any possible clash or check if any damage here. And for the solid verify, it is a simulation procedure. You can see how the material is removed in the simulation and detect the possible clash. Click Run, and you can see how the tools moved and how the material has been moved. By the way, the speed of solid verify is dramatically improved in the version 2020. If you are an old version user, you should not miss this improvement. Okay, let's get back. And the third option is called full machine simulation. It is an advanced version of full solid verify. It will include the whole machine into the simulation, like the spindle, like the table, like the clamps. So it can help users to check the whole system, the whole motion of the system. This is a new feature in the version 2020. We'll talk about it later in detail. Okay. Suppose that we have finished all the toolpath designs, and the next I'll do is to output the NC code and perform it on my machine. What shall I do? I can navigate a little bit and click Output NC for all. Then I can see all the NC code there. That's very easy, right? Okay, I think that is almost all the workflow in ZW3D CAM'e. It is very easy to use, and many points help users to understand how to use it in ZW3D CAM'e. Let's get back to the slides and take a quick review of the points I just talked about. First one, the powerful data translator. For ZW3D, it is not a problem to make data exchange. If your customers or if your partners are working with another software, it is okay for ZW3D. And ZW3D has an intuitive tool preview to help you ease the job to create your tools and avoid making mistakes. And ZW3D has abundant operations. You will never have difficulty to find the options that you want. And in ZW3D, we provide 3 ways to simulate the CAM'e procedure. Okay. That's all the contents for our first part. And if you have any questions, you can type in there, and we got members to answer the questions. And while you are typing in the dialogue, let's welcome Victoria back to conduct our first turn of lucky draw. Okay, Victoria?
Hi, Zach.
Hi, Victoria.
So, first of all, I would like to say sorry to all of our users because the internet today is not very stable. Thank you all for staying here and supporting us. Thank you. So now is the first round of our lucky draw. In this round, we will pick 5 winners from our active users to win the 3-month license of ZW3D 2020 Premium. ZW3D 2020 Premium covers the functions of full CAD functions, multi-site functions, and all modules of the machining functions, including 2-axis to 3-axis. It might be a good helper for you to tackle the issues from product design to machining. Okay, now Zach, let's pick up the lucky guys today in this round, okay?
Okay. Where's the box?
Shake it.
It's a big box. Let's shake it. A little bit and pick one. The lucky guy here. Let me check.
Let's see who is the luckiest, the first lucky guy today.
Nightbot. Who is
Nightbot? Congratulations.
Congratulations, Nightbot.
Okay, the second one.
And the second one. Okay, nice people. And a nice paper. And a nice name. Profil 3D.
Prototypos 3D. You win the prize again. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
So now
The third one. Is it the last one for the first time?
we still have
Oh, Rani Adler.
Lenny Adler. Congratulations. Okay, the fourth one.
The fourth one. The fourth one. Hope you are lucky enough.
Noel James. Congratulations to Noel James. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Okay, the last one of this round.
Last one. This round is Shane Watala.
Shane Watala. Very interesting name. Congratulations to Shane Watala. Okay. Thank you all for joining us today again, and congratulations to all our winners in this round. We'll contact you later and send you the gift in a week. Okay, for those users who didn't get the big prize, don't worry, we still have 2 rounds of lucky draw. And stay tuned with us. Okay, now I will hand the platform back to Zach to continue his sharing on the CAM'e module. Stay tuned with us again. Thank you.
Okay, thank you guys. I'm back, and hope you have a score in the last lucky draw. Don't worry, we still have 2 turns in today's live. Okay, let's get back to what we have today on content. The second section, let's check the features to help you experience a fast machining. Okay, in this part, I'll introduce several very important features or very unique technologies in ZW3D CAM'e that helps you to do a faster machining. You know, in nowadays market, saving time is the key to winning. Okay, let's begin. The first one I'd like to talk about is volume mill for ZW3D. Volume mill is high performance roughing strategy. It is the most efficient roughing strategy. It will dramatically reduce the cycle time up to 75% because it has a very smart and efficient tool-pass patterns. It will drive the tool deeper and cutting faster under a balanced tool load. Avoid making a rigid tongue contact with the materials to reduce the tool shake, and the volume mill will always try to use the full length of the flute so that the tool is cutting as longer as most. So it was used to the most and worn to the least, thus extending the tool lives a lot and then save a lot of cost on the tools. And it is advanced technology, but it is not easy or not difficult to adopt because it has no special requirement on your existing equipment. You can use your old guys, and it is easy to learn in ZW3D CAM'e because this operation, volume mill operation, has no difference with other operations in ZW3D. Someone may doubt about the number 75%. Is that real? Yes, it is a real number. We didn't pick this up from another web page or from an article or from a website. It is a number that can be proved by the following video. And next, I'll show you the video that we take last year in China. It is a real practice cut and on a very hard alloy. That will prove this number. 75% is a real number. Volume mill is high efficient. Okay, the cutting is begin, and this is the first cut on the side. You can see that almost the full length of the tool is being used. In this way, it will cut deeper and faster. Let's slow down when he is cutting into the pocket, and you can check that it cuts very deep. And in the following cut, you can check the way volume will move the tool. It will always try to use as long as possible. Now we can check in the corner area, it will move the tool in a smart to passes to avoid clash with the material. Again, if you focus on the chips that are removed from the material, you will find that almost every of them is at the equal size. We got a picture to show the size of the chips. You can check it yourself. Almost the same size. Because it volume will drive the tool under a balanced load and at all times. Now the material and the part is finished, and we conclude that it reduces the cycle time, it saves up our cutting cost, and it is easy to adopt. It's using existing equipment. Okay. That's a video and an evidence to show that volume mill is really efficient and really helpful to our daily job. For example, if you are working with your old machine or with your existing machine and you want to increase your productivity, what should you do? You apply volume mill. That will save a lot of time for you. Okay. Next, about volume mill, maybe you have some comments or maybe you have some question about it. If so, please type your comment in the dialogue, and at the end of today's live, we got a Q&A section. In that period, maybe we can pick some of the questions and answer to all of you. Okay, so please, if you have questions, type your comment in the dialogue. Okay, and let's move on. The next function or next technology I'll talk about is a unique one in the ZW3D called hole tactic. It is the smart function to help you to do a fast drilling. It will drill all the holes in the part at one click. It will automatically detect the core features to detect the what kind of hole it is. Is it a thread hole? Is it a normal hole? Is it a simple hole? Is it a countable hole? It will automatically detect it, and it will automatically select the correct tools from the library, and it will help you create a series of operations, maybe 10 of them, maybe 20 of them, based on the rules you have set. One click for all the holes. Okay, let's check how it works and switch to ZW3D. Okay, now where you can find hole tactic in the Drill tab, the first one, hole tactic. Click on the ribbon to create a hole tactic, and what you should do is to add the part as the CAM'e feature. That's all. Let's calculate the tactic. Seconds later, ZW3D will bring the result on the screen. You can check a lot of, maybe 20 of them. 20 tools are created and 20 operations are created automatically, just in seconds. You don't have to waste time to detect the hole diameters one by one, to extinguish or identify the hole types. Is this a simple hole? Is this a countable hole? Is this a thread hole? No need to do that. It will save a lot of time to identify the holes, and also save a lot of time to pick the correct tools from library, and also a lot of time to create the operations one by one. And this function is very useful if you are working on in the mold industry, because we all know that for a model we got a lot of holes on the model, like the eject pin holes, like the screw pocket, like the locating rings. All the standard parts will need a hole to locate it. So if you are working in the mold industry, this function will help a lot. Okay. And the last is the function about calculation. It is also a new feature in ZW3D 2020. It is called batch calculation. We, as a tool engineer, CAM'e engineer, we all have the experience. Sometimes in our daily life, daily work, we have to deal with material that is complex or that is very large. We need to take a lot of operations to finish the part. And to calculate the operation one by one is always an exhausting thing. But with ZW3D 2020, you got a much better option. Batch calculation. Batch calculation function is able to calculate all the 3-axis operations in the background and utilize all the cores of the processors, making 2-pass calculation faster than ever. It has several benefits. First of all, it calculates all the operations at the same time in the background. When your 3D is calculating the operations, you can do your other works. Maybe you can keep designing your part. You can go to write some document, or you can just think about your next moves. And it will utilize all the cores of the processor. That means in nowadays the computer specification is much better than before. Maybe you got 4 cores, maybe you got 8 cores, maybe you got 64 cores in your computer. The more cores you have, the faster you get to calculate the operations. Let's wait a second. The internet is a little unstable now. Let me check it, and I'll. Okay, let's keep going with live today. Where should I go there? Okay, the batch calculation. Okay, let's check how it works in ZW3D, and let's switch to ZW3D now. For example, I got a mold cavity piece like this. I got it from my partner, and it takes 11 operations to complete the finishing job. But every time my partner modifies the mold cavity base a little bit, I had to calculate all the 11 operations. That would be a disaster for me. But with ZW3D 2020, we got a better option, batch calculation. The calculator will include all the operations you select into the calculator and then calculate at the same time. I have 4 cores on the processor, so I can calculate 4 operations at the same time. That means 4 times faster than before, 4 times faster than calculate one by one. If you have more cores, for example 16 cores on your processor, you can be twice as faster as me. Okay, wait a few seconds, ZW3D will finish the calculation. And what we should do next is to import all the results back by one click, QM import. And now, the toolpaths are imported successfully. That is a much easier job than before. Because we all know the model will be modified several times before we finish the toolpath design. So this is a real time saver for us. Okay. I have just talked about 3 features in ZW3D to help us to experience fast machining. The first one, volume. This is the most efficiency roughing strategy, available in 2-axis operation and 3-axis operations. It will drive the tool to cut deeper and faster, reduce the cycle time up to 75%, and extending the tool life. It is easy to use and easy to learn. And for hole drilling job, we got a hole tactic to perform to drill all the holes in the part by one click. It will automatically detect the hole feature, including the diameter, including the hole types, including the counterbore or countersink if it has. And it will automatically select the tool from the library and create the operations by the rules. And if you have a lot of operations to calculate for your part, don't worry about it. We provide a batch calculation function to help you to reduce the time you use for calculations. Okay, that's the fast machining part in this slide. And if you have any questions or if you are interested in any part of it, please let me know. And please leave your message in the dialogue. Maybe we can check it at the end of today's live. We got QA section there. Okay. And I think while you are thinking about all of the 3 features, I'd like to welcome Victoria back and to conduct our second lucky draw.
Hi, Dad.
Hi, Victoria.
What's your feeling about today's live?
It's good, I think.
Yeah, I hope you all like that sharing today. Okay, now we are in the second round of lucky draw. Okay, in this round, the gift is the 6-month license of the ZW3D 2020 Premium. With such a long time can support our users to handle so many projects, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, we will pick 3 winners to win the big prizes in this round. Okay, now let's pick the lucky guys today.
Okay, let's welcome our lovely lucky box. And here I found the first lucky guy. Okay, who is it? Marek Dudubik.
Congratulations, you are the 3rd one to win the big prizes. Congratulations again. I hope the good luck can accompany with you all the time. Congratulations.
Congratulations. And the second one. Awesome. Check it. What is this? Roman Kutowski.
Congratulations to Roman. Congratulations. Okay, the 3rd one.
Third one. Third guy. You are in my hand. His name is Samuel.
Sylvia. Sylvia, congratulations.
Congratulations.
Congratulations to all the winners in this round, and we will contact you later and send you the gift in a week. So for those users who didn't win the big prize in this round, don't worry, we still have the last round of the lucky draws. Okay, the biggest prizes is waiting for you. So stay tuned with us and continue to hear Zach's sharing on the CAM'e module. Thank you.
Okay, and thank you again for tuning with us. And we still got the last lucky draw at the end of today's live, so please keep tuning with us. Okay. And the last part of today's live, I'd like to reliable machining, because as a CAM'e engineering, we almost every day ask ourselves questions like, are these two passes good? Are these two passes safe to us? Is there any material left on the part? Or can the machine be the best one? Or the motion, is that motion of the machine is okay? For a company which is strictly control the production, it need clear answers for all these questions. And who can give the answer of those questions? The reliable simulation, who can ensure us a reliable simulation, who can take control of all the things that risks under control. We provided a new feature in ZW3D 2020 to help us to do so. It is called full machine simulation, as I just mentioned before in the first part of today's live. And now let's go to check more details of this function. Full machine simulation, you can check the picture in the slides that it is a simulation that includes all the machine components into the simulation, including the spindle, the holder of the tool, the clamps, the table, all the components that has to be simulated or to check the motion should be included in this procedure. It will help us to prevent the clashing, to help us to review the fitting conditions, and to help us to simulate the machine's motion, all the components, the axes, the tables, the clamps, the spindle, all the things you need to know. And it will easily to meet the quality control requirement, either from the company or from the ISO standard. Okay, I think it is better that we go to the 3D to check more details and to see how it works. Let's switch to the 3D. For example, I got a workpiece like this. It is a 5-axis impeller. And I need to know if the two passes can work fine on my machine. Full machine simulation is very useful when you are defining a 5-axis or Newton two passes. You can find full machine simulation function by right-click, and it will start a new window to perform the simulation. What we should do next is to pick the correct machine. Select the 5-axis machine on mine, and everything is ready. On the left is a job tree that shows all the necessary information of the machine and the part of the workpiece information, like the machine base, the axis component, the tool header, and the assembly of the workpiece. Okay. Under the job tree is a point list of the two passes. We've got a lot of them. Let's run the simulation from the ribbon. Now it's running, and you can see how the machine is moved. Let's zoom in a little, maybe to change a good angle to check the moves of the tools. Okay, zoom in a little. Now I can see clearly how the tool and how the table and how the workpiece is moved and how the materials is removed. Any possible clash or any possible left materials can be found during this procedure. Okay, that is how this function works. It is also easy to use. Okay. Let's get back to the slide. That's all I want to talk about during today's live. We can make a summary now. First, ZW3D is easy to use. It's from the very beginning to the end. It is a powerful tool that will greatly ease your daily work. We got whole tactics, we got volume, we got batch calculation. It is very fast to work with ZW3D CAM'e, not only on the programming, but also on the machine. As an efficient tool, it will greatly increases the productivity. And ZW3D is also a reliable simulation by providing 3 ways for you to check the toolpaths, or to check the motion of the tools, or to check the motion of the full machine. It is reliable, it ensures you a safe machining procedure. Every effort you made with ZW3D is worth it. Okay, if you have, I think that's all for our all the content of today's live. So if you have any questions, or if you have interested in any features of ZW3D 2020 CAM'e, you can type in there. Maybe we can pick up some question here and to calculate our QA session. Okay. So Victoria, do we have any questions?
Yes. Let me find the questions for you.
Okay, let's wait a few seconds. Victoria will help with me to collect all the questions we can talk about in this session. Let me check also the dialogue of YouTube. Let's see what questions we have for now. Roll up a little. Okay. Okay, I found someone is curious about the simulation. We got 3 simulations, and Mark wants to know if we can detect the possible clash, and want to know if we can check how much material will be left on the material after the operation. His answer is yes. Solid verify and the machine simulation function, both of the functions can detect the possible clash. Once the clash is happen, the simulation will stop, and a pop-up window will show you which error it is and which clash is happened. And you can also check the material left on the part after the operation. We provide a visual tool to help you check, to color the final part, to help you to check which area has how much thickness of the material. Okay.
Some questions for you.
Another question?
Yes. Yeah, this is the question.
Okay, I got the latest questions list. And someone wants to know if I change the size of a product, can the toolpaths be updated automatically? Okay, this is a question about the CAD and CAM module get together. If you change anything in the CAD module, it can easily transfer to the CAM environment. And during this procedure, you can immediately see the difference in the CAM environment. And what you should do is to update the toolpaths by yourself, since some CAD change may be very slight. You don't need to perform the calculation. But if you have a big change on the model, you should have to update the operations. It is also very easy. We provide options to update all the operations together with the model. If you don't, if you have this need, you can enable this function. Okay, let's check another one. Okay, here is a guy who is curious about volume, and he wants to know why volume can cut deeper and move faster. he is worried about the safety of the tool, and he'd like me to explain more. Okay, let's explain more details of volume. Volume has a very special, very smart, and very refined process to drive the tool along, and it will prevent rigid contact between the tool and the material. In the video in today's slide, we can check that in the corner areas, it will move the tool along the arc movement, and in this way, it will prevent the clash between the material and the tool, and always balance the tool load on the flute, so it can cut deeper, so it can cut faster. It is because the advanced tool path patterns. Okay, do we have more? Yeah, this one. Hello, Lord. Would be cool if whole tactics can be configured or operation sequence like threaded holes machining with thread mills instead of tap only. Yes, that is a thing that we are consider about, and we are also have plans to develop new functions or to improve the whole tactic functions. You will soon see the functions in the plan or in the roadmap. And if you have time to, or if you have, if you can modify the rules, you can use another operations to instead of the tap operations. Okay. Any other questions?
No. Okay. Yes.
Okay. I think that's all for today's question, and we got still the last lucky draw for today's live. Okay, Victoria.
Hi, Zach. You answered so many questions, so I think some of our users can't wait to the last round of the lucky draw. Okay, what do you think of Zach's sharing today? Welcome to tell us in the live chat area. And if you still have any questions, welcome to tell us, and we will have technical staff to reply your questions. Okay, now we will pick the biggest prize in this round, and also the biggest prize for the 3 days live programs. Okay, it will be the 12 months. It will be the 12 months license of the ZW3D 2020 Premium. So many long time. So and it value more than $3,000. Very big price. Okay. The winner can enjoy smooth work from product design to CAM'e work for the whole year. Okay, now let's pick the luckiest guy today.
Okay, let's see who is the luckiest guy today. He is in my hand. Let's check the name. Victoria, help me to read his name. Doreen. Congratulations
to Doreen.
You win the biggest prize today.
Congratulations, Doreen. We will contact you later and send you the keys in the link. And all of our users, thank you for joining us today. And today's internet is so very stable, and thank you for staying with us all the time. And thank you for Zach sharing today. So you insist on your sharing in the internet connection. Thank you very much. At the end of the ZW3D live program, I would like to invite the team members behind our team who support our platform, who support the reply behind the camera. So without them, we cannot have such smooth communication with all of you. So now the first one it will be Orchid.
Okay.
Yeah, and the second one is Katie, and the third one is Wade. Come on.
Please, come on.
Hello everyone.
Hi. So say hi to everybody.
Hi, guys.
Welcome to join
Thank
Have
you.
a new year and have happy every day.
Enjoy the Okay. Thank you all our dear users. And this is the end of the ZW3D 2020 live programs. In the future, we will convey you more good values and more good products. And please subscribe to the ZW3D YouTube channel and turn on the reminder and stay in tune with us. Okay. Now I would like to thank you all again. If you want to watch the playback of the live programs, please go to the homepage of ZW3D YouTube channel, so you will find the videos there. Okay. See you.
See you.
See you next
Thank
time.
See you next time. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.